The best remedy for a fight is to fuck.
Hey, I'm actually gonna do like OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, if you treat them like dirt, they stick like mud, Art.
Oh, so you were like horny.
Were you hooking up with other 5-year-olds?
I feel like the real relationship starts only when you live with each other.
Being like, all right, I have to hook up with a guy. And I get emotional now.
Very first hookups you've had came out from the Craigslist.
We hooked up on the first night, as you do.
1, 2, 3, let's go, walk in. And we sit. So real, we're not fake as all. Like,
I'm so nervous.
You can see me as well. Welcome guys, my name is Art and this is
Pat.
This is Pat. Nice to meet you, Pat.
Nice to meet you.
Good handshake.
Oh my God, your handshake is very firm. I thought it was not going to be like that. So
basically the story of how I met Pat is my boyfriend Johnny, he watches his podcast.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, this guy Pat, you know, he's also gay. You're gay, right?
Yes.
So he's also gay and he's like, you know, you should talk to him. And I was like, oh, I'll try. And Pat was so nice and he answered me. And today we're going to be talking about your coming out story in your life in New York City. But basically, you work for the sports company, right?
Correct. It's a media company. It's called Barstool Sports. Yeah. It's got a huge podcast network. We have reality shows. We have YouTube series. We also have sports shows. So it's an all-encompassing company.
So, but basically it's very like sporty, right?
Yes.
So,
sporty.
Where are you from and when did you move to New York City?
I feel like I'm on a date right now.
I mean, we are on a date. Oh my God. You just didn't know about it.
I am from outside of Boston, Mass.
Okay.
And I've been in New York City for about 9 years. I'm gonna date myself now. I moved here in 2014 to work for David Letterman, various jobs in TV production. I worked for MTV, I worked for Andy Cohen, and eventually 5 years ago, I landed at the job I'm at now. I started as a writer, and after that, I kind of morphed into a podcast host. We had a radio show on Sirius XM, and now I have the show that I have now with my co-host Joey Camasta, and it's called Out and About.
So when did you know that you were gay?
I knew that I was different, but I didn't know that I was gay. Probably as early as like 2nd grade. I mean, I remember just feeling like, something is off here. I'm not, looking at girls, not that you look at girls in 2nd grade, but you just feel something a little bit different. And then as you get older, you learn that there's a word associated with that. So as you get to, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, then puberty starts. And then you really realize that, oh, fuck, which I think is an initial response to a lot of people.
I was 5 years old.
You were 5?
Yeah, I kind of realized it fast.
Were you hooking up with other 5-year-olds?
No.
No.
Not to this level, but I was like, when I was 5 years old, I kind of realized that I like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't.
Oh.
You know him?
I know the name.
The blood sport and like all this.
Oh yeah.
He was my gay awakening because he was huge in Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. I'm trying to think who my gay awakening was. I think it was probably the underwear aisle. Like a
this
Target.
Is very basic.
Yeah, it's
this
very
is like a lot of
basic, white guy from Massachusetts. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. So when did you came out? Like, when did you come out? If you had a coming out story, when did you come out to your parents?
After college, I graduated college can we bleep when I graduated college so no one knows how old I am?
Actually, no.
Okay, so 2022, I graduated college last year. I came out right after college. I was 22 years old. That's when you graduate college, maybe.
Probably.
But I remember being like, it was my senior year of college, being like, all right, I have to hook up with a guy. I was like,
So you did not hook up with the guy, you did not kiss a guy till you were 22 years old?
No, I remember in middle school, I would fool around and a little bit in high school, but then it's like, oh, no, that's not me. And there was this long break, and then towards the end of college, I was like, all right, I have to hook up with a guy. I hooked up with a guy, and right after I was like, oh, fuck, I am definitely gay. I told it to my parents. I basically just sat them down one day. I told it to my brother first. We were driving in a car to our friend's house. And then I was like, don't tell mom or dad or Kelly. I told my sister and she was like, well, you have to tell mom. And so then I told my mom and she's like, well, you have to tell dad. And so it all kind of happened in one day. But I was never worried about my family. Like
what was their reaction? Were they like,
they were fine. But I was more worried about my friends, to be honest, because my family stuck with me.
Tell us about your straight friends.
Yeah, oh my God.
It was like, bro, like, what's up? Like,
well, one of my best friends, Damien, had the greatest reaction you can have. I was so upset. I was on the couch. I was like crying. We were in the basement, and I get emotional now. He was like, Pat, I'm not friends with you because I think you like girls. He's like, I'm friends with you because you're funny. And I was like, oh, that's a great response. Like, I'm friends with you because you're a good person. And of course, I was like, and then, I had a couple friends that it took a little longer to come around, but.
What do you mean took a little longer? Like, did someone like disappeared? Because I had a couple people kind of.
Yeah, I had a good friend who our relationship was like I wouldn't say on the rocks, but it was just like, hey, why is this person not talking to me as much? Like, but looking back, you realize it's like, oh, maybe I had, less contact with these people because they were feeling a certain type of way. But it sucks, but like it happens. You know what I mean?
I watched Pat's video when he was talking that very first hookups you've had came out from the Craigslist.
Yeah.
So yes. I was like very curious, because I did not live in this time. I lived in a grinder time, and like
the Wild West of hooking up. I remember I didn't even know Craigslist was a thing until the Craigslist Killer documentary came out on Lifetime.
Okay.
And there was like a murder going around on Craigslist. And
he was killing like gay people?
Everyone.
Oh, everyone.
And I remember being like, oh my God, people.
He was not homophobic.
No, he was. Yeah, he was not. I was like, oh my God, people hook up on this? Let me try it. And so I went on, and it was basically like, how on Grindr now you write like your description, whatever. Yeah. You would write that, but it would be in a paragraph. So usually someone would post in either men seeking men, which was like the little more like buttoned up. I would say like the Hinge of like Craigslist, or it would be casual encounters,
so
which was like
looking for sex.
Right. And so you would go between the two, and then someone would say what they were looking for. I'm looking for, this is like the early 2010s. You'd be like, I want like a straight acting, like blah, blah, like all the old.
Mask for mask.
Exactly. Okay, and so like people would write that, and then you would respond, and then they would usually respond with a photo. You would respond with a photo, and then you would just send nudes of each other. And then
would you like respond to each other on like email?
Email, yep.
Okay.
Straight up email, a Hotmail account for all you elder queens out there.
And
Hotmail,
Yahoo.
AOL, Yahoo. I still have a Yahoo.
That's what the people use it for, to be honest. That's how they still in business. Did you write about yourself, or you just found person on there?
Both.
Oh, so you were like horny.
Oh,
you were
God,
like ready
I'm still
to
horny. I didn't ever have a bad experience though.
Like if you can't remember him, it was probably not the best experience.
Exactly.
Because he did not do a good job.
That's true.
Okay, so you
I didn't do a good job. Like first you send like shirtless, then like eventually once you trust the person, you send the face.
So you were the faceless kind of guy.
Of course.
You're the one who, okay.
Do you remember Manhunt?
Manhunt? I don't know.
Oh my, you're gonna get comments on this.
Okay.
Manhunt, Plenty of Fish, Adam for Adam.
I heard about Adam for Adam in comments. So yes. Wait, what was it? What is
Adam for Adam, it's like, these were like the leading into gay hookup apps. So it was a website.
It was an app or a website?
Straight up website. Okay. So you would go on your family computer and you would do a private browser, which I don't even think I knew how to do. I would just delete it. Put in all your info, and it was like a hookup app, but it was on an actual web browser. Ask your boyfriend if he knows what Manhunt. If anyone knows what Manhunt is, say it.
Let me know in comments. If you guys know Adam for Adam or Manhunt or Plenty of Fish, let me know in comments, and also let me know which one you used and you thought there was the best one. That's a good question. Are you single?
I'm not single, no. I'm not single.
May I ask you how long you guys been dating?
We've known each other for a while, but we've been together almost 2 years.
So how did you meet?
So we met at our friend's pregame.
Was it Plenty Fish or whatever?
It was Plenty Fish, Adam for Adam, and Manhunt. We met at my friend's pregame because gay men in their 30s still do that. He made a beeline to me, hooked up on the first night, as you do. And then we met up the next day, and he was so nervous to be with me. He was so just like all over me, like, oh my God, how are you? Like, we had a great night, that I actually ghosted him.
You did? Oh my gosh, not you being problematic.
Yeah, well, I ghosted him. I was like, I'm overwhelmed by this.
For how long?
Like a half a year.
A half a year?
Yeah.
You just ghosted this guy?
Well, I mean, if you treat them like dirt, they stick like mud, Art.
And you guys live together?
Yes.
Just like, when you date someone, before you move in with someone, it's like cool and nice, but then you move in with someone, would you say that he opened up to you differently a little bit, or you kind of knew? Like, because I tell this people, like, it might be a little controversial and hot take, but I kind of say them, if you're like dating, and yes, you're dating and you don't live with each other, it's like cool.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like the real relationship starts only when you live with each other. Because this is like a challenge.
Like, it has not always been easy. There's a honeymoon period, oh my God, because initially you move in with someone, it's like, well, we're sleeping together, like at each other's house all the time, let's just save on the rent.
And then he doesn't fucking clean.
And then he does, that sounds very pointed. I'm the only one who cleans my relationship. No, it's fine, there's a honeymoon period, and then things will cool off, and then they come back together. But it's like, definitely not always easy. I think this is like the straightest thing that I'll say on this podcast, but there is, and I'll adapt it so it's gay. There's an old adage, happy wife, happy life, happy boyfriend, happy boyfriend. It's like the same thing. My name is Pat, his name is Zach, so he'll be like happy Z, happy P.
So you
happy
clean
P,
after
happy
him.
Z. Just say yes. There's no need to fight and bitch over dishes and do all these things. Always go above and beyond for someone, and it will come back to you.
Okay, that's a good point. But like, how do you not become his father and clean after him? And
Well,
like,
you can become his daddy.
okay, no, you can become a daddy, but again, it's separate video, Pat. Like, we have to like hold on for this kind of video.
I think it's just like communication.
Okay, so
That's
you're being
really-
boring.
Yeah.
You decided to give me the most basic answer.
No, it is but it is true.
But it
It's
is
like
true.
if something pisses you off, say it. Like don't let shit build up.
Yeah, no, I agree. So
That,
one,
and then just like the best remedy for a fight is to fuck.
I agree, and also it feels so much better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like we're only fighting in order to have this like after fight.
I like that.
How tall are you?
I am 6'5".
He's
6'4.5".
Can you stand?
Oh my god, I'm not gonna be in the frame.
Yeah. So
I'm, like,
stand.
sweating.
Wait. Good.
Should we go back to back?
Wait.
My like ass is on your lower back.
I have a very last question.
Yeah.
You do spicy stuff there. I don't know how active you are, but what was your boyfriend reaction? Or was like, hey, I'm actually gonna do like OnlyFans, even though you have like a big job besides it. You know what I mean? And it's more like side stuff, I guess, for you, right? But like, what was his reaction? It was like, no, or like,
Basically, yeah.
he said no.
He was like, I don't want you to do this. And then my reaction to him was, okay, well, if you pay me what I am making on this, then I will stop. And then he was like, okay, you have a good point.
So he's just switching his.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. So if your boyfriend tells you do not start, you know, you can say the same thing. And this is a life hack, how to get started. And also check out Pat's VIP page and my VIP page. And don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe. We're gonna give you a hug at the end. Thank you for having me. No, yeah, so, and thank you so much for coming. And we're gonna go and work out together in the steam room. Goodbye.